Hello and happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to, wow, I forgot the name of my channel. How sad is that? A Sweet City Girl. My name is Rachel Countryman. This is Sally back here. If you follow me on Instagram, I've made a couple stories about her. She's kind of creepy and my family hates her, but I like her, so she's staying. Today I'm talking about a pretty important topic related to diabetes. I feel like it's not talked about enough, and even for those without diabetes, I feel like it's also an extremely important topic, and the things that I'm going to talk about can apply to non-diabetics. However, it's more important as a diabetic. So I'm going to be talking about diabetes and eye health. So I have been told all my life basically about eye issues that can happen with type 1 diabetes because I am diabetic, so they're more likely to occur and can occur at a younger age, especially if you don't control and manage your type 1 diabetes properly. So with irregular blood glucose levels, especially high glucose levels, it affects your blood vessels. And it affects the smaller ones first. So those include the ones in your eyes, and then it also can happen to your fingers and hands as well as your feet. Some people with poorly managed diabetes have had to have amputations. But if you take care of yourself, you don't have to worry about that, but you just have to make sure that you're managing your diabetes, you're going for the appointments that you're supposed to go for, and you're getting your blood checked. That's super important. I know a lot of people are afraid of needles. I personally love them. I know that's weird, but when I get blood taken, I love to just stare at it and watch it be drawn, and that sounds really creepy now that I'm saying that out loud. Anyway, so this kind of goes back to my wonderful days in my food nutrition undergrad. So first I'm going to talk about a couple nutrients that are really important for your eye health, and the first one is lutein. So this is something that is not made by the body, and so that means we have to get it through our diet. It can be found in green leafy vegetables. I have my notes here just in case you're wondering why I'm looking down. So yeah, like spinach, kale, it's in broccoli. There's also some in corn and eggs. Thankfully, I eat a lot of spinach. I eat a lot of broccoli and eggs as well. But for me personally, because I have type 1 diabetes and just to kind of cover my butt, I do take a lutein supplement. It's not very high, but just to kind of add in that extra lutein. I don't take it every day either because my diet is pretty sufficient in lutein. So I really take it when I remember. I forget a lot of the times, but it's there if I need it. So this nutrient actually helps to decrease the inflammation in your eye that is caused by blue light. So from screens, if you work a lot in front of a computer, you're on your phone a lot, which happens these days, watching Netflix all the time, it's really important to take care of your eyes. There's also another nutrient that kind of goes hand in hand with lutein. I'm so sorry if I butcher this name. I wish I should have looked up how to pronounce it properly. Zeaxanthin? Zeaxanthin? Oh my gosh, I totally butchered that. I'm so sorry. But they kind of go hand in hand. The supplement that I take has both of them in it, and so this nutrient also helps to decrease inflammation in your eye. It's found in the same foods as lutein can be found in. And for these nutrients, there isn't a specific recommended daily intake guideline for what you're supposed to take. I have looked up different articles and studies, and a couple of the ones I read said about 10 milligrams of lutein a day, and then 2 milligrams of Z. I'm not going to say the full name because I completely butchered it the first time I said it. So those are the first couple I wanted to talk about. The second one is vitamin A. I feel like that's really the most popular one. Sorry, my window's open. There's a truck outside because there's construction going on. Sorry, vitamin A is probably the most talked about when it comes to eye health, and we really think about carrots. Eat a lot of carrots and it'll take care of your eyes. Carrots do have vitamin A in it, or beta carotene, but you can also find it in things like sweet potatoes, pumpkin, spinach has some as well, of course carrots, butternut squash, so those ones are the orange vegetables. You're gonna find it in there, but milk and eggs also has some as well. So again, my diet, I eat a lot of this stuff. My family loves sweet potatoes, we love squash, we love carrots, and I eat a lot of eggs. So my diet is pretty substantial when it comes to vitamin A, and I don't take a supplement. When it comes to supplements, I feel a lot of people think that, oh, I'm just gonna take all the supplements and I won't have to worry about it. But a lot of people, you don't have to use these supplements. Your diet may be sufficient. Some supplements have upper limits where it can be potentially dangerous for your body and organs, like your liver, if you're taking too much of a certain supplement. So it's really, you have to go based on your diet, but also if you wanted to consider it, maybe talk to a dietitian about what you're eating and see if maybe you do need a supplement. So there actually is an upper limit for this nutrient. It's 3,000 micrograms a day. You should not go over that. The recommended daily intake for someone such as myself, female identified, is 700 micrograms. So that's way below the upper limit. There is wiggle room, but so if you're eating enough of the foods that have vitamin A, you're good to go. You don't need a supplement necessarily. So now I wanted to get into the things that can potentially go wrong with your eyes if you do not take care of them, especially if you're a type 1 diabetic, because it increases your risk of these because of the effect that your blood sugars have on blood vessels. So for those that don't know, diabetes is the leading cause of blindness in Canada, and I think that's crazy. Sorry, another truck. I really should shut the window, but I'm really hot, so I need the cool air. Anyway, and also 23% of type 1 diabetics have some type of retinopathy, so that is damage or disease to your eyes. And not all damage, you will have symptoms, especially in the early stages. So it's really important as type 1 diabetics, we go every year to see our optometrist or an ophthalmologist. I think I said that right, ophthalmologist. Yes, so just to make sure that our eye health is good, because you never know what can happen within that year. A spot might happen on your eye, you might have a little swollen blood vessel, but it's really important to take care of your eyes, because you can easily, if you're not paying attention, lose your vision. So some of the earlier signs of damage to your eye is blurred vision, or redness, blind spots or blotches in your vision. And so there are a couple main issues that can happen with your eyes. So the first one I'm going to talk about is macular edema. So edema means swelling, and Macula refers to the macula, which is part of the retina at the back of your eye, which helps you see. And the macula more specifically helps see finer details and also helps with color. So macular edema is swelling of the macula, and this again can happen if you're not managing your blood glucose levels well, because the blood vessels become inflamed and swollen, and it can lead to loss of vision. The second one is more serious. It's called proliferative diabetic retinopathy. So this is when there's actually growth of new blood vessels in your eye, but they're very weak. And because of this, the blood vessels will leak, and the blood will leak into your eye. And this can also cause vision loss as well. So to prevent these things from happening, as type 1 diabetics, we really need to first know how to properly manage our type 1 diabetes, which is why it's important to go to your appointments with your endocrinologist, your nurse, your dietitian, to make sure you're understanding how to manage your diabetes properly. It's also important that you put the action into managing your diabetes properly, whether that's continuous monitoring of your blood sugars, proper carb counting, exercise, and keeping an eye on your doses to prevent highs and prevent all the irregularities that can happen with your blood glucose levels. Like I mentioned before, it's really important to go see your optometrist every single year to just get an update on your eyes. Thankfully, I have had no problems with my eyes, no leaking blood vessels, no swelling, no blurred vision, nothing like that. On that note, I do also see an ophthalmologist, and that is because a few years ago I had LASIK eye surgery. It had nothing to do with damage from the diabetes. I just had very poor vision. I got a lot of headaches, and if you added up the cost, it would be for contacts, which is what I wore every single day over my life, versus getting this LASIK eye surgery. It was 110% worth it to get the surgery. So because of that, I also, along with my yearly checkups with my optometrist, I also go every 2 years to see my ophthalmologist, just to make sure everything is okay with the surgery. As a type 1 diabetic, you can get LASIK. Just because you are a diabetic, they won't just say no to you. Of course, it depends on the health of your eye. They look at your eyes before to see if you're a candidate, and if you're taking good care of your eyes, you are definitely okay to get the surgery. But I digress. What else? Oh, also, which is really nice, because of course we didn't ask to be type 1 diabetics and have a higher risk of eye problems. The eye tests that we are required to get as a type 1 diabetic are covered by OHIP, so we don't have to pay a huge cost in extra tests just because of this disease, which is really nice, because I hope for everyone, even without diabetes, my eye health is super important to me, and even if it wasn't covered by OHIP, I would still pay for it. There are other things I've had to sacrifice because of diabetes costs, but my eyes would definitely be a high priority. I really hope, if you're watching this, maybe rethink your eye health, because you're gonna need your eyes for the rest of your life. Okay, on to treatments if this does happen. So in the early stages of eye damage, you can definitely reverse it by better control of your type 1 diabetes. If you have high blood pressure problems, getting that under control can help as well. Exercise, a healthy diet can help reverse the early stages. However, when you get into the macular edema, the swelling of the eye, or the proliferative retinopathy, the leaking. There are a few different treatments. So one of them, you use a laser. So what they do is they go into the eye and they use a laser to create little burns on those leaky blood vessels to help seal them and to prevent further leaking into the eye. Another option is a surgery to get rid of any scar tissue that's in your eye, dried up blood that's in your eye, to help improve your vision. And sometimes in severe cases, your retina can actually detach if you haven't been taking care of your eyes, and so surgery can also help to reattach your retina. However, I have read that that's only successful in about half the cases. So take care of your eyes, people, because that would suck. Another one too, I read is a newer, I don't know how new, but they can actually inject a drug directly into the eye, and it is a hormone blocker for the growth of those new and weak blood vessels. So I didn't want to get into too sciencey terms for this talk. I just wanted to talk about the basics for diabetes and eye health, but I thought this was really interesting. So this growth hormone is called vascular endothelial growth factor. So this drug is an anti-VEGF, I'm just going to shorten it, and so it prevents that hormone from acting in your eyes and creating the growth of those blood vessels. And I just thought that was really cool. So yeah, those are the treatments. And lastly, I was gonna talk about what I do to take care of my eyes, but I kind of threw those in there in the different topics I was talking about. So my diet is high in lutein, zeaxanthin, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, and vitamin A. I do once in a while take a lutein supplement just in case. I go to my eye appointments every single year. Thankfully, nothing has been wrong. I have had one small spot on my eye, but it wasn't a swollen blood vessel. There was no leaking, no damage at all. I have been doing really well with keeping my A1C down. So that's your 3-month blood sugar average. And that's an important tool to look at as well, just to make sure that it's not too high, because again, that would indicate that you aren't managing your blood sugars very well, and that could be a concern when looking at your eyes, or even, like I mentioned, the blood vessels and mobility of your fingers and your feet. So that's super important. And yeah, I think that's it for eye health. I'm sure there's so much more detail I could have gotten into, but those are the basics for diabetes and eye health. For any damage when it comes to diabetes, it's all about managing your sugar levels. I feel comfortable saying that probably every type 1 diabetic has gone through burnout at some time in their life, where they're tired of all the management it takes, the stress, the lack of sleep, not feeling comfortable with your disease, just exhaustion from all the blood testing, giving insulin, counting carbs. So I definitely get that. I've experienced it a couple times in my life, and my blood sugars were out of control. Even though I wasn't testing a lot, I just knew. Thankfully, I've been back on track. But for people who go years without management, it really causes big complications down the road, like problems with your eyes. And some things aren't reversible. You'll never get back your perfect eyesight or the health that you had. So please take care of your eyes, whether you're type 1 diabetic or not. just please take care of your eyes. And I think Sally agrees with me. Thanks for watching again. To my lovely subscribers and people that ask me questions and send comments. It's really nice to see that people care and are interested in learning about type 1. There's still so much that people need to know about type 1 diabetes. I really hope in the future it will be better talked about and not just clumped with type 2 diabetes. There's also other types of diabetes that some of them I can't even begin to remember. So anyway, I hope you keep listening. I hope you share this. I hope you learned something. And I really hope everyone's still staying safe. We are still in a pandemic. The second wave is on its way. So just be smart. But also enjoy this beautiful weather because this is my favorite weather. I love the fall weather. I also love Halloween, clearly, because I have a creepy doll behind me. And yeah, tune in to my next video, whenever that may be, and I will talk to everybody soon.